Today, we live in a world of limitless choices. Hundreds of movies at your fingertips, thousands of products online, endless ways to fill your day. On the surface, choice seems great. More freedom, more possibilities. But somehow, we feel less happy, more stressed, and increasingly anxious. Welcome to the paradox of choice. In this video, you'll learn why having more options often leads to less satisfaction, more anxiety, and how simplicity can be the key to real happiness. We think more options mean more freedom, but ironically, too much choice often creates paralysis instead of empowerment. Think about a simple decision, like choosing a toothpaste. Sounds easy, right? But when faced with dozens of nearly identical options, your brain struggles. Which one is best? Are you making the right choice? Psychologists call this decision paralysis. Instead of choosing confidently, we hesitate, question ourselves, and become overwhelmed. The problem isn't the options themselves, it's the burden of deciding. Each decision requires mental effort, time, and emotional energy. And when every tiny decision becomes complicated, daily life feels exhausting. Instead of freedom, too many choices create stress and anxiety, leaving us more stuck in freedom. More choices also lead to lower satisfaction. Psychologist Barry Schwartz calls this the opportunity cost of choice. When you choose one thing, you give up all the others, and your brain can't help but wonder, what if something else was better? This what if thinking ruins your enjoyment. Even if your choice was excellent, knowing you could have picked differently creates doubt, regret, and dissatisfaction. Think of Netflix or Spotify. You pick a show or song, but part of your brain remains anxious, wondering if you're missing out on something better. Instead of enjoying what you chose, you're haunted by infinite possibilities. Happiness suffers, not because your choice was bad, but because you're always aware of the alternatives. But imagine a different scenario. Imagine a simpler life, with fewer but meaningful choices. How would it feel? Studies show people actually feel happier when their choices are limited. They experience less stress, less anxiety, and more satisfaction. Why? Because fewer options mean less pressure. You're free to enjoy what you have instead of worrying about what you missed. Simplicity creates clarity. Your attention isn't divided among endless possibilities. It's focused on what truly matters. This explains why minimalism and simplicity movements grow in popularity. People intuitively understand. Less is not deprivation, it's freedom. Less means deeper connection with what you truly value. Neuroscience supports this too. Your brain has limited cognitive energy each day. Every unnecessary decision drains your mental resources. Steve Jobs famously wore the same outfit daily, not out of laziness, but because he understood the science of decision fatigue. By eliminating unnecessary choices, he saved energy for meaningful decisions. Reducing trivial choices frees mental space, allowing deeper, more meaningful thoughts. When your mental bandwidth isn't overwhelmed, creativity, clarity, and productivity thrive. Choosing less doesn't mean settling, it means intentionally deciding what deserves your attention. Less clutter in your mind equals more quality in your life. So, how do you escape the paradox of choice? How do you find happiness in a simpler life? Set clear priorities. Understand your core values. Choose only what aligns with them. Limit your daily decisions. Pre-plan meals, outfits, routines. Less choice means less stress. Stop second-guessing. Once you've made a decision, let go. Fully commit and embrace the outcome. Practice gratitude. Enjoy what you've chosen without constantly comparing it to alternatives. Simplicity isn't about losing freedom, it's about regaining control. By intentionally limiting your choices, you reclaim mental clarity, emotional calm, and authentic happiness. The paradox of choice reminds us of something essential. More is not always better. Freedom doesn't come from infinite possibilities. It comes from intentional living, from clarity, simplicity, and meaningful focus. In a world obsessed with more, choosing less is powerful. Next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, true happiness isn't found by adding more. It's found by letting go of what's not essential. If this resonated, subscribe and leave a comment below. Have you ever felt trapped by too many choices?